If you want to see how I got this glowing summer look, then keep watching. Okay, so starting off with my favorite color corrector, I find this really helps to color correct my dark circles. And then going in with a lighter face product, this is the Sunkissed Tinted Moisturizer, and this has an added SPF in it, so it's going to kind of help just add a little bit of extra sun protection throughout the day. Working on blending this into my skin. The Armani Luminous Silk is one of my favorite concealers. I just find it to be super lightweight and very easy for everyday wear. And I'm just gonna apply this where I need it the most, so underneath my eyes, just a little bit on the forehead to brighten, down the bridge of the nose for brightening, on the chin, always around the side of the nose because you got a lot of redness there, and just on the edge of the eye just to help with lifting everything. I always like to stipple because that will just help maintain most of the coverage. I like to take a sponge and then again just stipple over just to make sure that everything's blended out seamlessly and any excess product is picked up. To carve out my face and add a sun-kissed glow, I'm going to take my favorite Makeup by Mario bronzing serum, and I do like to take this one on a palette, so I'm just going to put a pump there. Then I'm really going to work this into my brush. Once it's all worked into my brush, I am going to go directly on the face. And again, just stipple it all in. I like to take the sides of the nose as well, just for like a super easy contour. Going back with my foundation brush and then just blurring all of the edges for a seamless blend. Staying with the sun-kissed theme, I'm gonna take a reddish blush, and this one will kind of give that sunburnt effect to the cheeks. So with blush, I always like to take it on the back of my hand first. I never go in directly with the stick. I like to take my brush and then really get the product on it. Starting to stipple this onto my cheek. Obviously this is a very powerful pigment for my complexion. You can always go in with your concealer brush and kind of just diffuse the edges. So toning it down, but you're still left with that really great pigment. To keep on theme with the glowy summer skin, I'm going to take a liquid highlighter, and I always like to put onto my palette first. But I'm going to take this on my brush. So stippling this in just on the high points of my face, my cheekbone, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, on the tip of my nose, and then a little just on the bottom of my chin there. And now that all the creams and liquids are on my face, I'm just gonna do one final go around with my sponge to make sure that everything's seamlessly blended. I'm loving all this glow, but we gotta set it down so that it lasts all day. So I'm gonna take my favorite NARS pressed powder, and you can tell that it's very loved and also broken. Take this onto my powder puff, take off any excess on my hand, and then before I go in with the powder, I'm gonna press out all the creases, really working this back and forth so that it really gets set into the makeup. Also like to do under the cheek, to get just in the middle here where my pores are. I love this powder for every day because it does still maintain the glow, but it sets everything and just smooths everything so beautifully. Just such a good, reliable powder. So I've strategically powdered my face so that I will be set and locked in all day, but I still have that glow on my cheek. With my powder product, I do want to go in with a really light hand, so it's important to use a brush that's not densely packed and that's just super flexible like this. To help set the bronzing serum and further enhance the glow, I'm going to take the Hourglass bronzer and applying this to my cheekbones, under my jaw, my forehead. Taking the bronzer on a smaller brush, I'm just going to take it up and down the sides of my nose to help shape it a little bit. This is one of my favorite blushes for a sun-kissed look. Super glowy coral blush. You can see that it actually is quite vibrant and has a really nice golden shift to it. Just adding this to my cheeks to really work up that nice sun-kissed look. And when you spend too much time in the sun, you also get a little bit on your nose and a little bit onto the forehead so that it's all very cohesive. Complexion's done. Now I'm moving on to the eyes, and I'm going to keep them pretty simple. Whenever I do a bronzy summer look, I really love using MAC's Costa Riche. It's like this beautiful reddish chocolatey brown. It's all over the lash line here. And I'm not being super precise here because I am going to blend this all out. I'm going to take a pretty small brush like this one and then just go and blur out the edges and blend it all. So winging this out towards my brow and then bringing it back into my crease. And then taking a larger fluffy brush, I'm just going to go around the edges. Just want to make sure that everything's seamless. Then I'm going to do the same on the bottom, working this into the bottom lash line and blending it up towards the brow bone. And then I'm going to take Cork by MAC. I always like to just dab off any excess and really work the product into the brush. I'm going to put this into the crease and then again blend up and out. So I'm basically just blending this over the edges of the eyeliner we just blended out. And going under the eye as well. Taking this cream shade on a smaller brush, focusing this on the brow bone and really blending out the edges of the brown shadow I just put down. And now for the fun part, I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to the eye with this Chantecaille palette. So I'm going to dip into this beautiful bronze shade, and I mean, just look at that. I'm so excited to get this on my eye. So I'm actually going to use my finger for this. It's just the best way that this product will adhere. And I'm going to focus this primarily in the center of my lid to give a really nice pop. I'm going to go back in with the brush we use with the brown shadow, and I'm just diffusing the edges out so that everything is super seamless. And just like we did on the upper lid, I'm going to concentrate this right in the center. To add just a little bit more sparkle, I'm going to go into this Natasha Denona palette and take this beautiful gold green shimmer shade. It's so beautiful. So just going to pop this right into the center, and you can already see how multidimensional that looks. For the brows, I'm just going to take a little bit of gel through them, and I'm going to put some on the back of my hand because I do use this one in my kit. And then taking a spoolie through it, I'm just going to then take it onto my brows and brush them up so that they stay in place. And then I'm going to finish up the eyes with a little bit of waterproof mascara. And I always use waterproof in the summer because I don't care what mascara is, it's going to transfer, especially with all of the heat and humidity. Lastly, for the lips, so one of my go-to lip liners is MAC's Strip Down. Fairly neutral shade, and I just find it does a really great job at defining the lips. I'm going to overline the Cupid's bow ever so slightly. Lastly, I'm going to take the Anastasia lip gloss in the shade Peachy Nude, and I'm going to put this all around my lip. This is one I use in my professional kit, so I'm just going to take some off on a brush for sanitary reasons, and then pop this all around the lip. And I really love this lip combo for more of a glossy, neutral lip. And I'm a huge sucker for any lip product that smells like vanilla, so that is also a reason why I love this so much. To lock in my makeup all day, I'm going to take the Huda Beauty setting spray. And here you have it. Here's the finished look.